everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States, which is 10 a.m. if you're in Australia or 1 a.m. if you're in the UK. Hope you guys and girls are well and had a good weekend. Smurfberry Barbecue and Hellforge, good morning to you as well. Hope you guys had a good weekend. So cold here today. It's freezing here in Melbourne. I had to have the heating on. Whoa. I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt because it's so cold. But it's good to see you guys. As usual though, remember guys, if you do miss the live streams, you can catch up and watch them at any time by clicking the videos tab on my Twitch page. Smurfberry says, morning, he says as the sun goes down. I'm in the future, remember. I'm coming to you from the future. So yes, it's going down for you guys in the US and coming up here in Australia. Hellforge says it was alright, wasn't as productive as I'd wished, but I survived. Well, that's the important thing. As long as you survive. Okay. It doesn't always have to be productive. I mean, you know, there are times where I want to be a couch potato and do nothing as well. So, things sometimes don't work out, like you make something and it doesn't work the way you want it to, sort of thing. That happens all the time. Unavoidable. Cleaning my keyboard here. Something on my keyboard. It's driving me nuts. Okay, there we go. So yeah, no. Things don't work sometimes. I know I've started making stuff and it hasn't been working the way I wanted it to. So that's all par for the course. Hellforge says, hope you're doing. I am doing well. Thanks for asking. Yes, apart from it being very, 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 very cold in Melbourne. Smurfberry says, I've been hardly productive all weekend. Well, that's completely fine. You don't have to be productive every weekend. Remember, I've said to say to you guys, if you don't feel it, don't work, because you won't do good work anyway. So unless you're in the mood, it's probably better you don't. I mean, having said that, there are times where you do have to push yourself, but yeah, if you're not feeling it, don't do it. Because it won't work anyway. You won't produce good work. That's what I'm trying to say. What are we doing? That's right. We're working on the House in the Hollow game. It is available to wishlist right now on Steam. Exclamation Steam in Twitch chat, or click the graphic in my panels below my stream. Yeah, it should still be below my stream with the new layout. We're working on the study for that game. We're almost finished all the assets. I think all we have left to do are the walls and the floor. So the paneling for the walls and the paneling for the floor. I've actually already done the wall, like I've textured up the wall, so we don't have to do that. But we've just got to actually make the wall sections, and we do have to texture up the floor. Thank you, Hellforge. There's the link for the Steam store page if you want to wishlist the game. Remember too, if you do want to play the game, I'm going to try and avoid showing spoilers while I stream making stuff for it, but I can't promise anything, so just bear that in mind. If you do want to play the game and you don't want any spoilers, you probably shouldn't watch the stream. But I'll do my best not to spoil anything. So yes, the walls we have to do and the floor we have to do. The walls are textured up, but they need to be put together properly, and the floor is not textured up, but the mesh is done, so it's only a plane. So let's jump into Max, shall we? So now what I've done here is these are the interior walls for the building, and I brought this in so that when we create the wall sections, we can get the height right. I've also brought in the fireplace we created. You probably can't see it, it's hidden behind me. There we go. That we textured up and it's all ready to go. I've only brought it in so we can size up paneling that goes around the outside of the fireplace up against this wall, because the building has two fireplaces here and here on this section of wall. So we're going to need a fireplace here, and we're also going to need a fireplace on the other side around here in this room. But that's the sitting room. We're not starting on that one yet. Once we've done the study, we're going to move back up to the attic over here. So yes, so these are the wall sections we're going to be working with. So I just want decorative paneling for the walls. The reason it's textured up is because in another part of the building, I've created like a semicircular planter that's on the second level, and I created this for that, and I want to reuse it so that I don't have to make another texture and we can save on texture memory. And we'll also be using this pattern for the wall paneling in the study when we move, in the sitting room when we move into the sitting room. But for now, we're working on the study. And this is the wall section, the floor section. Well, Phil can't talk today. That we're going to be working with. We'll texture that up in Substance Painter soon. If you can hear a cat meowing, it's somebody else's cat in the apartment block here. It's been wandering up and down past my balcony. I think it wants to come inside because it's cold. Poor thing. So it's meowing. Either that or it wants to be fed, I don't know. Somebody has a cat. All right. Let's see. What are we doing here? All right. Let's let me just lock onto it so Max knows what I wanted to look at. There we go. So let's move this piece out. Now this is going to be the pattern that sits along the top of the wall, and this will be the pattern that sits along the bottom of the wall. Healthwatch says the two aren't mutually exclusive. All right, so let me just check this. Yeah, that should be all right. Cookie! Greetings, fellow human, to you as well, Cookie. It's good to see you. Hope you're holding up well. Hope you had a good weekend. You're in the US, aren't you, Cookie, I think, from memory? I know there's been a lot of things going on in the US recently. So yeah, I'm just trying to decide if this will be better as a base or along the top of the wall for our paneling. I think probably because it is so busy, detailed, it's probably better along the top, because if we put it on the bottom, we're going to have pieces of furniture and stuff in here, so it's just going to start to look a bit too busy down below. Whereas if we place it at the top, we'll have furniture down here, and then we'll have a nice pattern happening on the top of the ceiling, or the top of the wall. You did? How was yours? Mine was good. Yes, no, I had a good weekend. I was working as usual. Doing blueprint stuff, believe it or not. I've been doing a lot more blueprinting in Unreal than, as far as the game studio goes. I still do a lot of ArchViz stuff with the other studio, but game stuff, games-wise, it's been a lot of blueprint stuff. I had to fix some blueprint problems in the interactive menu for the game, so that's what I spent the weekend doing. Yes, fun, that's right. I'll give it to Epic Games. Their blueprint system is very good. It's going to move the pivot to the middle of this object, so it's easier for me to manipulate. Yeah, the blueprinting in Unreal Engine is very good. They've done a good job. But you just debugging blueprint code, it's just as bad as debugging normal code. I hate debugging any code. But anyway, I got there in the end. That's the important thing. Eventually I got there. Got it all fixed and all working and all good. I guess that's just what happens when you're like the technical artist on the project. You need to sort out everybody else's problems. That's why I was doing animation stuff, character animation stuff, not that long ago. Last weekend, I think it was. Yeah. So if we move this to the top, we can start sizing up our paneling. Helpwood says, can't you just call an exterminator to get rid of the bugs? I wish you could. Cookie says, debugging other people's code is the most fun for sure. Oh, yes, it is. You know, I know you know, Cookie, because you do programming. Yes, debugging other people's code. What fun. Oh, man. So it's one of the worst things I've ever had to do is debugging other people's stuff. Anyway, we got there, like I said, in the end. In the end, I got it done. Now, this wall section here, now, the idea behind the study, and again, this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler, so bear that in mind for the game. There's going to be a hidden, what are you going to call it? Nook? A hidden cabinet, a hidden shelf inside of this wall paneling, which will be revealed when the player does a certain action in the game. So I think what I want to do with this paneling here is size it up first. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So let's just rotate it 90 degrees. Oh man, come on. There we go. Hit the right axes and it would help. Smurfberry knows about programming as well. He's been doing some Python stuff, I think, recently. Some Python scripting. Alright, so what I'm just doing here is I'm just trying to size things up against the wall so that everything, when we bring it into the engine, can be placed easily. So we're going to have this decorative piece toward the top of the ceiling. This bottom piece, I'm going to have to, a couple of ways I could probably do this. What's going to be the best way? I think the best thing for me to do first is to actually, I don't want long pieces like this. I want this broken in half so that when the paneling, the hidden paneling piece is revealed, it's not the entire piece. It's just like a smaller rectangle than that. So I'm going to go into sub-object mode. We're going to select one of these and I'm going to detach it as a clone. And we are going to shift the pivot. And we'll rotate it. I'm doing this so I don't have to, so I can keep using the same texture map. Now I'm going to stretch this. We're going to get a little bit of stretching happening with the texture map, but because it's such a small piece, I don't think people will notice. We will find out though in 2 seconds when I do the, I'm just going to go into isolation mode on these two pieces as well. It'll just make it easier for me to work. I think we might be around the wrong side, so let's go to the back. There we go. So let us, there's a couple of ways I could do this. I could duplicate the thing, but because it's almost at the right length, I think I'm just going to extend the ends here. Now again, we are going to get a bit of stretching, but you can see it's not noticeable really at all. So it'll be fine for what we want. And that's better. I don't need a whole section to be unhidden for a paneling. I just need a small section. So, Confusion, it's good to see you. Hello to you as well. I'm doing really well. I hope you are too, Confusion. Yep, no, I'm good. It's all good. Just making sure that's up against the wall. I hope you're doing good. You are? Same? Good. Good to hear. So yes, we have our section of wall here. That much paneling for a hidden panel should be fine. Smurfette, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it. So thank you, Smurfette, for following Phil Does 3D. Welcome to the channel. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in chat. But if all you want to do is watch, that's completely cool. Don't forget to, you can join the Discord server. There's a link I've just popped in Twitch chat. If you want There's a gallery section where you can show off your work, and tutorials and tips section and all that sort of goodness on the Discord. So, all right, so let's go out of hidden mode. I'm going to attach that piece we just created to the rest of that paneling. Now we have to work out, I have to work out how I want to tackle this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into isolation mode again. Left it a bit too early. I see, okay. So I'm going to duplicate this piece. And I'm going to slice it. I don't want quick slice. I want the slice plain. You know, something I realized yesterday actually. I installed the new version of Adobe's apps like Premiere, After Effects, Photoshop, all that sort of stuff. I updated the programs through the subscription. You know that Adobe installs Maxon Cinema 4D Lite by default and doesn't tell you it's doing it. So you install After Effects, and part of that installation is an installation of Cinema 4D Lite. I didn't realize until I was looking through my program list and I saw Cinema 4D installed, and I thought to myself, I never installed Cinema 4D. What's going on? Bloody Adobe. Can you believe that? Man. My week was good, Confusion. Yep, no, it was good. Busy as usual, but good. I don't mind being busy. I like what I do, but it's been tiring. I've been doing a lot of blueprint programming stuff, but it's been good. Smurfette says, thanks, bro. It's a project. Yes, this is, I'm working on a game called The House in the Hollow. You can wishlist it right now on Steam. Actually, I'll do a bit of shameless self-promotion. I work for two studios. I'm an ArchViz, I work for an ArchViz studio and also a game studio. You can go to phildoes3d.com if you want to learn more about me and what I do and my social media and all that rubbish. But I'm actually working with a game studio and we're making a game called The House in the Hollow, which you can go to thehouseonthehollow.com. This is the web page for the game. And you can actually wishlist it right now on Steam. Oh, wasn't quick enough. So we're working on the study for this game, for the House in the Hollow game. There's a link in my panels below my stream, or you can type !Steam in Twitch chat to get a link to the Steam store page. So that's what we're working on. We're working on the study for this game. Smurfberry says, what? That's valuable hard drive space. Yeah, I know. It took up like 800 megabytes, the install of Cinema 4D Lite. Not even the proper version of Cinema 4D, but the Lite version. Yeah, it took up like nearly 800 meg of space. Just going to move this. This is the slice plane thing. It was very annoying. Very annoying. And what annoyed me was the fact Adobe didn't tell me it was installing it. When I was installing the update for After Effects, it didn't say it was installing it through that either. There was no mention of anything being installed. It just, as part of the installation of the new version of After Effects, it installed Cinema 4D Lite. So I looked through my programs, I saw Cinema 4D Lite, and I thought to myself, I have never installed Cinema 4D. I mean, I used to use Cinema 4D many years ago, but I'm a Mac user now. And so it sort of threw me as to how the hell did this program get installed on my machine? Then I Googled it, and of course everybody else is complaining about Adobe installing stuff without telling them, without their permission, without even showing them that it's being installed. It was like a silent install. It was really annoying. Bad Adobe. Bad Adobe. Euro says, two Smurfs, what do? Yes, that's right, two Smurfs, Smurfberry Barbecue and Smurfette. Hellforge says, that's why Blender is great, it doesn't install extra nonsense. Well, no, Max doesn't either. It was Adobe And Adobe don't own Cinema 4D, do they? Not that I'm aware of. Maxon still owns Cinema 4D. So I don't know why Adobe are packaging it up with After Effects. I mean, fine. If you want to do that, Adobe, do that. But make it so that during the installation you can deselect it. Don't install it silently without telling anyone in the background. That's bad. That's bad. That's you know, that's terrible. Thank you, Euro. There is a Steam link there for the House on the Hollow game. Okay, let's do a slice on this mesh through here, I think. That is so I can... Why did you not slice? Bad, Max. Bad, Max. Let's do that again. Slice, Max, slice. There we go. Let's remove this piece at the bottom because we don't need that. Now I should be able to move these into position. So I basically just want paneling all the way up the wall until we get to that decorative piece at the top. I'm just going to change my axes here so I can get in and line these up properly. And yes, before anyone says anything, I can turn on Snap to Object, but I don't tend to like working like that. My phone has just gone off. I'm just going to go and check it really quick in case it's the ArchViz Studio. I'll be back in 2 minutes, guys. Sorry about that. It was work as usual. Okay. Let us unhide this so I can get an idea of how we're traveling. Alright. I think, oops, I'm in the wrong viewport. I'm wondering why it's going all funky. Let's fix that up. Top, this should be front. There we go. And this is the orthographic. This is the one I want. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, because one won't fit exactly, I'm going to attach these two pieces together. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this piece one more time. Let's get our pivot correct. I'm just holding down the Shift key and dragging to make a copy. And again, I'm going to go into isolation mode. We're going to make sure we line this up correctly. Euro says Affinity Photo published and designer only come to 2.7 gigabytes. Photoshop is 2.25 gigabytes. So yeah, look, Adobe's software is huge. Takes up huge amounts of room on your hard drive. And again, I'm just going to change my pivot here so we can get in and align it up. We're looking at the back, that's why we don't see that other line. Euro says, did you install 2020.1 yet? They fixed a bunch of issues. No, I haven't yet. When I checked on Autodesk's website over the weekend, the 0.1 update wasn't available in my account yet. It was only, you can only download it if you use the downloader that comes with Macs, and I don't use that. I can't remember what they call it. What I do for updates for Macs is I log into my Autodesk account and download it through that, and it wasn't available there yet. Maybe it is now. So if it is, I will install it, but I have not yet. Yeah, the Autodesk app. The only way you could install it was through the Autodesk app, and I have that switched off. I actually think I even uninstalled it. So I usually do my downloads manually through my Autodesk account. So what I'll do is I'll check to see, and Autodesk have said there's a bit of a bug at the moment. They can't get it put through the when you log into your account to download your updates. It's not there at the moment because of a bug. Autodesk know about it. They are working on fixing it. So as soon as they do that, I will be downloading it and installing it. Should always install the updates to max. I'm just attaching these pieces together now as one object. Okay, now what I can do is I can scale this. There's only a small gap to fill, so even though we're going to get a bit of stretching, it's not going to be enough to be noticeable. I want to do that as opposed to scaling this, which I could do as well, because I don't want to make this too big on the wall, this decorative piece. Euro says it's pretty dumb, to be honest. Every time it asks where Max is installed, but it's actually asking for the Autodesk directory where Max is installed, so watch out. Okay, I'll keep an eye on that then. I read, I think, in the forums, some people have said that the update to version 1 is disabling some plugins as well. I don't know if that's true or not. Only one person's mentioned it. I guess I'll find out when I update it. Did you find that any plugins you'd installed, any scripts were missing once you'd done the update? Just curious, because I'd rather not have to reinstall all of my plugins and scripts again. Who knows, though, with Autodesk, anything is possible. But it is always wise to update, for sure. So I'm going to scale this up. How do I want to tackle this? I could use the scale tool, but I think I might just use the selection tool. I've got a bit more control. Okay, I see why. All right, stop. Undo. We'll use the scale tool. Euro says, never experienced that, or my plugin scripts are fine. Well, that's good to hear. Because, I mean, it sounded strange when this person in the forum said, oh, I installed the update and all of my plugins and scripts were missing. I had to reinstall them. I thought that was weird. I mean, that would be unusual. I've never come across that personally myself either on an update. But Autodesk are doing things a bit differently now. So who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I'm going to go and do isolation mode on these pieces and we can line them up and attach them. Again, we're looking at the back, so I'm just going to switch to the... We're looking at the front, I'm going to switch to the back view so we can see what's going on. Euro says could be something that uses a licensed server, not liking the version yet. Maybe. Euro says I do tend to save my custom settings and back them up in the cloud too. That's a wise thing to do. Maybe they installed into the Max directory instead of the Autodesk directory. Could have. Who knows? You know what people are like. I mean, I see it all the time when I look on NVIDIA's website. You know, the drivers website, the forum. You always get people saying, it destroyed my graphics card, it blew up my machine, my computer caught fire when I installed your driver, all that sort of stuff. You just have to wonder what some people do with their computers. They just, I don't know. I don't want to blame people, but there are some really stupid people around. I'm sorry, but there are. Really, really stupid people around. I've never had a problem. That's all I've got to say on the matter. With driver installs, NVIDIA drivers, it's never been an issue. I don't know, some people's machines, though, just seem to be whack. Completely whack. Okay, it looks like I might have a couple of pieces here that I can remove. I'm just checking. Euro says, I will admit it threw it in the Max directory, hit install, and then started reading the release notes while it was installing, and then it hit me that at the bottom of the release notes. I'll keep an eye out for that then. Thanks for the heads up. Alforge says, under 5 IQ squad checking in. Look, I know that using a PC can sometimes be a bit, I don't know, what's the word? I don't know what the word is, but not everything is always easy to do on a PC. I get that. But the number of problems some people seem to have with their machine, I don't know. I think a lot of the times people like to overclock their computers. Like, I don't overclock any of my machines. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do. I'm just saying I don't do it. Because it can cause problems sometimes. If it's not done properly, you can really have issues with overclocking. I'm just going to turn on flat here because I'm finding it a little bit hard to see what's going on with all the shadows in the way. Okay, so I'm going to remove these pieces here at the side because I don't want them. So that one and that one, we'll delete those. So now we can line these pieces up. And I'm going to line it up like that, I think. Actually, I think I need to place a piece of wood there, so I'm just going to move that up a little bit. Stop. Yeah. Smokeberry says, my friend who is always tweaking his NVIDIA game settings is always raging because something in the drivers changes or he presses a reload that factory resets all the profiles instead of just one profile. I shouldn't laugh. Smokeberry says, me, I just leave my GPU settings pretty much at the defaults and only do a few tweaks to in-game settings. One of us has lower blood pressure. I'm the same as you, Smokeberry. I don't mess with my NVIDIA control panel apart from a couple of small tweaks, like turning G-Sync on, all that sort of rubbish. And so every time I install a driver, it's never an issue because, you know, it defaults back to what it generally is anyway. So it's never been a problem for me either. Now that's interesting. Okay, I see. All right. We need to place a piece of wood here because it's missing. And that's not good. That's okay. Easy to do. Let's duplicate that. I'm going to hold the shift key down and drag. And I also want to bring another one right up to the very top. So again, the shift key and drag. That's better. Healthforge says, I think if I had the disposable income to replace anything that broke, I'd be far more willing to mess around with everything in the car. I'm the same, yeah. Look, I get that too, yeah. I don't like messing with stuff in case it breaks. I'm not so concerned with software or drivers or any of that sort of stuff because if you do break it, then you can just, worst comes to worst, you reinstall your operating system, you know, or you have a backup anyway. So messing with software, not so much of an issue. Hardware. Hardware's a different question because that stuff costs a lot of money. But yeah, drivers, I've never had a problem with an NVIDIA driver, ever. And I've used NVIDIA graphics cards since day dot, like forever. And I have never, ever had a problem with one of their drivers, never. So it's always interesting to me when I see these people on the forum saying, you broke my driver, you broke my graphics card, your driver, you know, made my machine catch on fire or destroyed my graphics card or whatever. It just doesn't happen. I'm sorry, that just, it's virtually impossible. I'm not saying it can't ever happen, but generally breaking hardware through a software driver is incredibly unusual. Like maybe if the software driver disabled the fans on your graphics card, maybe. But even then the computer would shut down before it had burned the chip out, I would have thought so. I mean, that's the way CPUs work. If the fan on your CPU stops working for whatever reason, your computer will just shut down. It won't destroy the chip. It just reaches its thermal limit and shuts down. You know, there's all these fail-safes built into the hardware. So when you see people saying, your graphics driver caused my computer destroyed my graphics card. I don't know if these people just want a new graphics card from NVIDIA or something. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. But I agree with you, Hellforge. If I had an unlimited disposable income, then I wouldn't worry about it either, and I just go hell for leather. But we don't, and I don't, so. Euro says, same Smurfberry. I rarely tweak the NVIDIA control panel stuff. I don't even use the game profile driver tuning. I don't either. It usually makes performance worse. Yeah, I don't even install GeForce Experience. It's not installed on any of my machines at all. Just when I install an NVIDIA driver, I do the driver, the physics software, the audio driver, and the USB drivers, the USB-C driver if you're on a 20 series card. That's it. I don't install GeForce Experience or any of the other stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to attach these pieces together. Just pull that forward. There we go. Now, I'm going to need some sort of wooden pieces that run either side, because when we start duplicating this paneling, to get it to line up properly, we really need a piece of wood that sits between both of them again. Otherwise, it's just going to look strange. So we can do a couple of things. I did create these pieces here, which we could probably use. So let's see if we can't use one of these. Hellforge says your graphics driver caused my computer to explode and turn me into a leprechaun. I demand a new computer. Someone on the forums probably. Yeah, it's the forums where I read these things. The NVIDIA graphics forum. Either the NVIDIA one or what's the other one? Guru 3D, I think it is another forum that I look at for NVIDIA stuff. And you don't see it often, but you do see it occasionally. People saying, you destroyed my graphics card. I updated the driver and everything was fine beforehand. And after I updated the driver, my graphics card caught fire and stopped working. Or something like that. It's a nonsense. I'm just going to go into isolation mode here. It's just going to make it easier for me. Euro says maybe it was the 5-year-old thermal paste you never maintained. That's probably much more likely, yes. That thermal paste that you didn't change in your 5-year-old graphics card. Good point. That is much more likely. I'm just trying to work out the best way to do this. I think if we bring this up to the top, so that decorative bit there is in line with the top. Then we can duplicate this piece. And we can do a slice, a quick slice. Better make sure I'm in the right viewport to do this though. Hellforge says, the way I see it, if a graphics card catches fire, it would be the perfect time to cook some ramen on that fire. You want to cook ramen on your expensive graphics card catching fire. The first thing I'd be doing is unplugging the machine and, I don't know, depending on how badly it catches fire, throwing it outside. Generally, hardware will not catch fire. It will smoke and then the machine will just turn off. Because you have all that protection built into your power supply, whereas if something misbehaves, the computer will shut down. So you generally get that horrible smelling smoke, and that's probably as far as catching fire will go. These are just silly people. Silly people. Nothing will catch fire generally. before the computer shuts down anyway. Now for this, I think I can slice it. I might slice it here, just above this decorative piece. And just for good measure, I'll do one more slice here, just in case I change my mind and decide that I want to remove that decorative piece. I'll have the option. But for now, let's just remove this top piece. Euro says, I redid mine when I got the new rig, just in case. What did you redo, Euro? Euro says, smoke, electrical smell, silicon melting, then maybe fire, depending on how bad your PSU is. Hellforge says, my computer, Mr. Computer, sorry, if this is a non-smoking area, I must ask you to evacuate the premises immediately. That's right, smoking's bad. Bad. He says, as he used to be an ex-smoker. So, the hypocrisy. Oh, the hypocrisy. Don't you love that? Reformed smokers are the worst. They are the worst. I'm just going to make sure I line these up properly. That's good. And we can hold shift and do one more here. Okay, that's interesting. I'm going to probably have to just scale these so that they fit correctly. Again, I'm going to go to the correct side. I think it's because I'm in flat mode. I can't see that, I think. Euro says, years ago in the 90s, I once had RAM chips that melted. I was standing watching it, thinking, pretty sure it's not meant to do that. I'm pretty sure you're right. I've never had problems with any. Look, I've had one power supply in all the years I've owned PCs blow up. The machine, and the only reason I knew was because it was a machine I used to have for network rendering, and I smelt it before I saw it. And basically what happened was the power supply just gave out. So I got that horrible smell you get with burning computer equipment. And all the damage was the power supply, the motherboard, everything else was still fine. So that's the only problem I've ever had, was the power supply spontaneously dying. And it was a cheap power supply. That's why I say to you guys now, don't buy cheap power supplies. It's the thing that powers everything in your computer. Don't cheap out on your power supply. Buy a good quality power supply, because the risk is, if you have a bad cheap power supply, it could destroy more than just the power supply. It could the motherboard, it could be the CPU, it could do the RAM, it could do anything. And a good quality power supply, you will not have that problem, because to begin with, it's built better, so it'll last longer. And it's usually got more protections and stuff in it in case of an accident. So don't cheap out on the power supply. And that, you don't have to. A power supply is like a monitor. Once you buy it, you can use it for years and years and years and years and years. I mean, I recently updated. I think I mentioned it on stream. I upgraded the power supply in my main computer, simply because even though the one I was using was good, I'd been using it for about 7 or 8 years, and that's starting to get long in the tooth for a power supply. So I upgraded it simply because, not because it wasn't working or it wasn't good, just because it was getting old. So it was an Antec. I replaced the Antec with either a Seasonic or a Seahawk. I can't remember which brand it is. I think it's Seasonic, maybe. Anyway, and when I upgraded the power supply, I upgraded the size of the power supply. So I went from like a 550 watt to, I think it's a 750 watt now. Why not? I don't need 750 watts, but give it more power than it needs. That way you're not running it at 100% load sort of thing. You can keep it under 80%, which is the most power efficient. So. Hellford says, and yet it and out the window. Yura says, I redid the thermal paste on my GPUs. Mercury says melting silicon is my favorite ramen flavor. Ooh, yuck. Stinks. It stinks when silicon's melting. Hellforge says, to be honest, having someone with experience say that it's bad makes sense to me. Yura says, I went a few hundred watts over what I'll ever need, 850 watt here. Well, that's a good, yep, that's why I went 750 watt. Even though my machine probably only draws, I'd only need 550 watt. I was running 550 watt without a problem. When I upgraded it, I thought I might as well get one that's over what I need, because that keeps, like I said, instead of you running it close to 100% load on the power supply, you can keep it like below 80%. That's the most power efficient for the power supply. So it costs you less money and it's better for the running of the power supply as well. And it gives you headroom in case you do ever want to do an SLI rig or something like that. You've got the power to do it. So, although I don't recommend anyone SLI graphics cards anymore. It's more trouble than it's worth, to be honest. Individual cards are pretty powerful now. You don't really need to SLI. Unless you want that EPEAN value, EPEAN, bragging rights to say that you've got two 2080 Ti's in your machine, SLI. Even NVIDIA don't really push the SLI thing anymore. Android Lust, it's good to see you, buddy. I see you posted some new images in the Discord. I want to show those images toward the end of the stream today, so remind me if I forget. It's good to see you, Android Lust. Hope you had a good weekend. I'm doing really well. I hope you are too. Yura says I wouldn't go SLI. I would, however, like one display card and one render card. Need more monies. Well, that's different, yeah. You can have two if you want to use them for separate things, but a lot of people, when they buy two, want to SLI them together. Even NVIDIA, like I said, they're not really pushing that anymore. It's generally more trouble than it's worth. Because single graphics cards are quite powerful nowadays. Now, I'm going to adjust these side pieces to better match up with our sections here. So let's start at the top and work our way down, I guess. Now, I want more control on my scaling. So instead of me using the scaling tool up here, which is fine, but generally it'll scale from the bottom, and I want it to scale sort of like from the top. So instead of doing it that way, I'm going to select the birds. I'm going to turn on soft selection. I use soft selection all the time. It's one of the best things about poly manipulation in Max. I love it. This soft selection tool. And that way I can dial up or down exactly how far I want to go with which verts are going to be moved. So if I push it up, it moves it all the way to the top, so it'll affect those vertices. The blue ones it won't, but anything that's not blue going all the way back down to red will move, and I don't want any of those to move, so I'm going to pull it down. And we can just pull this up to line it up. And we can do the same now with this one. So I'm going to move it up in position. And just pull it. Just going to work out which ones with the 3 up to here. Doing it this way instead of using the scale tool gives me much more control. So. And then we've got this one, which will move up. And we'll just duplicate that last one for the bottom piece. Now this one needs to be scaled up because it's too short. Good. Now I can duplicate these for the other side. Oh. LJ, thank you for following. LJ, I do appreciate it. Welcome to Phil Does 3D. Good to see you, LJ. And thank you for the follow. Okay, let's go back out of isolation mode here. All right, I'm just going to attach all these pieces together now so we can start getting the size correct. So let us, got to make sure that they're correctly positioned on the side. I might just go back into isolation mode. I left isolation too quickly. So that we can make sure everything's lined up before I do an attach. I think we're good. Yep, no, I think we're good. All right, let's attach all this together. So that one, and again, these are all using the same texture map. So we're saving on texture memory by reusing the same pieces over and over again. And people are not going to notice that we're getting a repetition on the texture. If they do, like this piece here, we've got this like knot in the wood, which you do notice it being repeated here, here and here. When we place it in the room, if that starts to become obvious, then I'll go into the texture map and I'll just get rid of that knot in the wood. In fact, I was going to say I might do that anyway. Just let me find the texture that it's using. Because yeah, we want to try and avoid anything where people are going to notice repetition in a pattern. And that knot there is quite repetitive. And people might twig that, oh, that's the same thing used over and over again. We don't want that. We want to fool people. So where have I got this? It's models. Okay. This is the texture map. I think, again, I'm just going to try and, I think that's the knot in the wood there. Hellforge says, I was actually thinking about SLI and if that would be better for the base and 3D work, because a major upgrade would be a lot more than stacking another 1070. Yura says, I'd probably MV link them if needed to for higher VRAM cap during render. Remember, unless the NVIDIA have changed it, and again, I'm not up on the whole SLI anymore because I don't look at it. But it used to be that even if you SLI'd your two graphics cards together and each graphics card had, say, 8 gigabytes of memory, you don't get 16 gig. It's still only shown as 8 gig. That's the way I'm pretty sure it used to be. It may have changed with NVLink. I know it's built into the new version of DirectX 12 to multiple video cards, so maybe they're using, maybe it's changed. Hellforge says, I haven't read up on the whole thing yet. It was just idle thinking. Euro says, to be honest, wait till September. That's right. New GPUs, new benchmarks, no point upgrading mid-cycle. Yeah, don't buy a new, if you can wait now, don't buy a new graphics card. AMD are releasing the new Big Navi graphics cards in the next month or two, and NVIDIA are going to be releasing the new Ampere graphics cards. Well, the rumor is September. They'll make an announcement in August and the release should be in September. So you've only got a few months to wait. I'd hold off if you can. Unless you get a really cheap deal, maybe on a current graphics card, a current 20 series or something, I wouldn't be upgrading, personally. Even then, I probably wouldn't. I'd wait to see what the performance on the new cards is like. Yura says, I have a 1070 as well, works fine. The only thing that takes time are ambient occlusion and thickness spikes. Halford says, yeah, that's the main time sink for me and rendering stuff in Blender. Although I'm moving more towards rendering in UE. Yep, Unreal Engine's getting really very good now with rendering. With the engine is now with ray tracing built into the engine, it's looking really good. And it's instant, it's real time. It's not like waiting hours for everything to render out if you're using a traditional renderer. So, even though a lot of renderers now like V-Ray and all the rest of them have GPU accelerated rendering and stuff, but still, everything built into the program. The art tools that Epic created for the Unreal Engine are the best I've ever seen of any engine I've ever used, and you guys know I've used to work in games. So they've put so much time and effort into making really good art tools, Epic Games, for the Unreal Engine. Instead of being horrible to use, it's really good to use. One of the best engines I've ever used as an artist, put it that way. Euro says, I bake in Marmoset, although I'm going to do some tests and probably see what Max can do with my GPU. LJ says, my pleasure. Happy to see some 3D work happening. Well, welcome to Phil Does 3D, LJ. And don't forget to, guys, if you do want to join the Discord server, there's the link I've just popped into chat. You don't have to, but don't post links in Twitch chat unless you're a sub to my channel, but everyone can post links in the Discord. There's a section where you can show up your work in the gallery, all that sort of stuff. So, Confusion says, I will go to sleep. I'm tired. Have a great time too. See ya. See ya later, Confusion. Thanks for being here and popping in and saying hello. Have a good night's sleep. Android Lust says, see ya. Android Lust says, also great work on the furniture. Yes, actually, yes. I will show it toward the end of the stream, Confusion. Confusion posted some images in the Discord gallery of some furniture he put on his art station. I'll show that off. I want to show Android Lust's work as well as Ito's character. So we will do that toward the end of the stream. Actually, I'll leave it on the gallery. I've got Discord open while Twitch chat is open, so don't think if you post in the Discord I won't see it. They're both open at the same time while I stream. I'll leave it on the gallery to try and remind me that I've got to show those images before I finish the stream today. If you want to put something in the gallery and you don't want me to show it on stream, because I know not everyone's comfortable having their work shown publicly to everyone, let's just tell me and I won't show your image. But I like looking at the work you guys do. That's the whole reason I'm on Twitch, is to actually encourage you guys to do 3D and to look at the stuff you guys are making. So I like showing it on stream when I can, when you guys are happy with that. So, Mr. Squarepeg, hello to you, Mr. Squarepeg. It's good to see you. Did you have a good weekend? Are you well? You're holding up okay? Healthwood says, because I'm trying to learn the game asset pipeline, it makes more sense to render stuff in UE so that I can demonstrate the basic understanding of the entire pipeline from model to texture to engine. No, there was no alcohol involved, Hellforge. And Sniper Echo, it's good to see you, Sniper Echo. Did you get your package, Sniper Echo? Speaking of deliveries, I know you were waiting on something a while ago. Your computer equipment, I think it was. LJ says, a parcel of justice. That's all right. Welcome back. Thank you, Hellforge. Welcome back to my stream. Thank you, Euro. Sounds like a man who needs a coffee. That sounds like a good idea. I'm going to do that right now. Phil is unfit, but you have to bear in mind too, I have to go down two flights of stairs to get to my front gate, which is like 100 meters that way because of the apartment block I live in. So it's quite a ways to get down to where the package is being delivered and get back again. And I hit my green screen on the way out, so my apologies for saying shit on off stream. I knocked into my green screen as I was trying to get to the intercom. I knew they'd do this. They sent me an SMS this morning saying I was due for delivery today. I thought to myself, I bet you any amount of money, middle of my stream, which is pretty much in the middle of my stream, they deliver it. They did. So, yeah, did you get your motherboard? It's been months. Sniper says, got the last part yesterday. Cool. Finally. I know what it's been like. I've been waiting on deliveries as well. It's been taking forever. So I'm happy to finally get this package delivered. That and the fact the thing was really heavy as well. So that's my excuse for being winded. But it's good to hear you got your parts. Put that new PC together, isn't it, Sniper? That's the fun part, putting it all together. I like that. Yeah, it's sad it took so long, as Android Lost says. 100 meters, well, would it be 100 meters? 100 meters is probably an exaggeration, Sniper. It'd probably be about 50 meters from when I get all the way down the 2 flights of stairs to the front gate, because the apartment block is very long. So, and I'm sort of like in the middle of it. So it feels exaggerating. 100 meters, probably not, but good 50 meters though. So back in action, as Android does says. Sniper Echo says, I know, let's not speak of it. Sniper says it's not even the right hardware, but oh no, really? Don't tell me they sent the wrong thing. That's even worse. But you'll use them anyway. Oh, God knows how long it would take you to get replacement parts, so I don't blame you. Healthwatch says, good to hear you got something working at last, Sniper. Euro says, if the world wasn't dealing with human malware, you'd have been quicker hopping on a boat and get. I know. I've had stuff that's coming from 2 suburbs away from where I live, and it's taking weeks to get to me. It would have been quicker for me to walk there and pick it up and walk back. But I'm glad you got all your stuff, Sniper Echo. And I'm glad I finally got that package delivered as well. I've been waiting on that one as well. Alright, I want to jump into Photoshop real quick, so I want to get rid of this repeating knot. I'll just remembered I haven't washed my hands. Should I do that now? You're supposed to do it every time you leave the house. Euro says it had stuff arrived from Spain in 2 days. Really? Man. My phone is going off again. Oh, man. Look, I won't put the Be Right Back screen on. I'm just going to go and wash my hands real quick because I've been outside. My phone just went off again, so I've got to check that. 30 seconds. Oh, okay. Just gotta wait for this stuff to dry. You know, it's a hand sanitizer that you don't use water with. Stinks. Well, it stinks of lemons, but you know. Healthwood says, if you're this winded by walking up and down some stairs, please don't walk 4 suburbs there and back. Cheeky. You're going to get a pill slap. Very true, though. It was not only 2 flights of stairs. I'm carrying a box that weighs like 15 or 20 kilograms. So, you know, it was a box too. The box was heavy. That's my excuse. Yes, I got to wash my hands. We must remember to do this. Euro says, hope you didn't get winded washing his hands. You shut up, you guys. Sniper says, does Phil have a sink? I don't think he believes in them. I do have a sink, but this is the hand sanitizer that you don't use with water. It dries, you know? Garden Hose Euro says, Helford says, lemon, the mightiest fruit. That's right. Sniper says, hand sanitizer. I know he doesn't have a sink. I do have a sink. Anyway, let's get back into it, shall we? All right, let me just open up Photoshop real quick. So yes, my excuse was it was a heavy box and I had to carry it up 2 flights of stairs after running 50 meters to the front of the building to actually pick it up. It was funny actually, the delivery man wouldn't come anywhere near me because, you know, there's a social distancing going on now. I'm just not used to not having to sign for something to begin with. He left the box in front of the gate, and then he was standing like 12 feet back. Now, Sniper says the big game reveal is a small room with hand sanitizer in it. That's not a bathroom. Hellboy says, I think a fair few hours a day into this work, so it makes sense to have a sink. Either that or a black hole somewhere nearby. He thinks, that's right. Let's, no, we don't want that. Actually, I was telling the guys, I installed the new versions of Adobe recently updated all of the software not that long ago, a week or two ago. And when I installed the new version of After Effects, it installed Cinema 4D without telling me. I looked through my apps list and saw Cinema 4D installed, and I thought to myself, I've never installed Cinema 4D. What's going on? Rude. Very rude. Bloody Adobe. That's not cool, Adobe. Don't do that. Not cool at all. It's either going to be this one or the divider. I can't remember which. Let's open them both up. Maybe I can work it out. Can I work it out? Sniper says Cinema 4D is pretty powerful. Yeah, I know it's powerful, but I use Max and I don't want Cinema 4D installed. I use Max. Don't install it without telling me, Adobe. Don't be like that. Like, it would have been fine if during the installation of it comes with the installation of After Effects. If during the installation of After Effects it said, it gave me an option, install Cinema 4D as part of it, or even if it just told me while it was installing After Effects, it was installing Cinema 4D. It didn't tell me any of that. I installed After Effects, and before I knew it, I had Cinema 4D installed on my machine, silently in the background. That's not cool. You don't do stuff like that, Adobe. It's not cool. Stop it. I think it might be this one here. I think. We will find out in 2 seconds. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. So let's have a look here. How do I want to tackle this? I'm going to grab a bit from here. And we're going to blend it together. In fact, I might just use the Wacom pen for this. It's just getting a bit more control. Halford says, since it's a horror game, would the bottle of hand sanitizer be empty? And as you as the player realise that you touched the door handle to get in, so you need to wash your hands. I don't think I'll put a hand sanitizer in the game. People don't want to be reminded about what's been going on. They want to play a game for fun. I'm just going to save this as a different version so I can swap it out. As a PNG. No, not as a PAM, as a PNG. There we go. I'm just going to name this diffuse number 2. Now we can jump back into Max and I can update this file. Oh, it saved it in the... Ooh, it's put it in the wrong spot. Hang on. Let me jump back into Photoshop here. Save as. It's probably put it... Oh, okay. Just took it a while. Let's see if it's there now. Up, it is. I'm just too quick for it. Too quick for Photoshop. Diffuse version 2. And now that knot in the wood is gone. Which is what we wanted. So it's all good. We can close Photoshop down. No, I don't want to save. No, I don't want to save. I'll leave that knot in the wood at the top here. That's fine. I just didn't want it in the paneling. Rodrigo, thank you for following the channel, Rodrigo. I do appreciate it, so thank you very much, Rodrigo. Welcome to Phil Does 3D. Euro says After Effects has Maxon Cinemaware AE plugin. It is that. That's exactly why it is. It doesn't install the full version of Cinema 4D. It installs the light version, I believe. I have never really looked at it, but it is because After Effects does have that. It does have that plugin. That's the reason they install it. Well, that's the reason Adobe give anyway. I don't care. I don't use that plugin, and I don't want Cinema 4D installed. Now, I used to use Cinema 4D. I'm not saying it's a bad program. It's not. But I use Max for my 3D. I don't want 2 3D programs installed. I don't need 2 3D programs installed. Just takes up precious hard drive space on my SSD. But yep, you're right, Euros. That is the reason. Hellforge says the bit on the right side of that wood, as seen on the model with the lightest strip, got 2 darker spots as well. That makes it a bit more obvious that it's tiled. The bit on the right side of that wood. You talking about here? Is that what you mean? Those 2 there? I don't really know that that's going to be noticeable in the game once the lighting is actually happening on the wall. But I'm assuming that's what you're talking about there. But I don't think, because they're so small, I don't think that'll be noticeable. If it is when we get it into the game though, we can always jump back into Photoshop and remove them. I'm assuming that's what you mean. We do have this knot in the wood up here as well, which when we start tiling these pieces might be noticeable. We may have to get rid of that one there. Mr. Squarepeg says, seems like my Oculus Quest headset has shipped and it will be here on Friday. Oh, cool. You're going to go into the full VR thing, hey, with the Oculus. The Oculus is supposed to be very good. The Vive is supposed to be good as well. The last time I tried VR, though, it made me sick. You know, just made me physically feel sick. I think the higher refresh rate on the Oculus is supposed to fix that, but cool, exciting. Friday, so you don't have long to wait then. Mr. Squarepeg. Euro says, if you are in Ireland, that's Friday next month. That's right, for Sniper Rico. Mr. Squarepeg says, Euro, I'm in the States. Euro says, neat, I'd get VR, but it's not quite there yet for me. I let you people demo them. I agree. I don't think VR is really there yet either, personally. I mean, it's gotten a lot better. But I'm not going to rush out and buy VR. Yeah, look, I've used VR. I've played games in VR, and it's an interesting experience. It is. It really is. But number one, it made me sick. Made me feel sick. I find too that you can get a bit of eye strain having those things stuck right up to your face, and the fact that the thing gets really hot. At least on me. That's why I can't wear closed headphones, because my ears get hot. And I used to find the same thing when I had a VR headset on. My face used to get really hot. So yeah, it's just not comfortable for me. I'm not doing VR. At the moment, it doesn't interest me. AR is much more interesting to me, augmented reality. I think the possibilities for that are really cool, really exciting. But having said that, like I said, VR is certainly a really interesting way to play a game. You are immersed in the game, for sure. Like I think the last game I tried on VR was Skyrim, and that was interesting, immersive. I think I tried Elite as well. You know, Elite Dangerous or Horizons or whatever they're calling it now. I think I tried that. That was real. That was probably more impressive than Skyrim, simply because you felt more in space in VR in that game. Helpboard says far right bottom panel. Far right bottom panel. Are you talking about down here? Yeah, I don't know that that's really going to be. Are you talking about here? I'm assuming maybe. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Helpwood says it was just something I noticed. I just can't stand the cables with VR. It takes away the immersion, Mr. Squarepeg says. AR is going to be amazing. I agree. Augmented reality is going to be really interesting. Really, really useful, really interesting. In the shorter term than VR. VR is interesting as well, but more of a longer term thing at the moment. But augmented reality is sort of like here and now. I think that's really interesting. Mr. Squarepeg says the Quest has passed through AR. From what I've seen, it's pretty amazing. Alfred says, yep, that a bit. Smackberry says, yep, I know the bit you're talking about. You might be right. I might jump back into Photoshop. Smackberry says they announced that the next big expansion for Elite is going to be first person. Yeah, I read that. So you're going to be able to get out of your ship and wander around on the planet. And in the video, they have guns. So maybe there's some sort of first person shooting in it as well. Just being able to get out of your ship, though, that'll be cool. So let's see what that's supposed to be released next year, I believe, beginning of next year. The update for Elite Dangerous, where you can space legs, as they call it, where they give you space legs. Helpwood says the two darker patches over the lighter wood colour. Yeah, you're talking about here, aren't you? You might be right. I might jump back into Photoshop and just shop that pattern out. Mr. Squarepeg says, to Smokeberry, I'm looking forward to that. I am too. Euro says, space legs finally. I hope FDev don't derp it up. Yeah. Frontier Developments, yeah. Who knows? With Frontier, who knows? Hopefully they won't. We'll find out soon enough. Beginning of next year, that's provided they don't delay it, which they probably will. It always seems to take Frontier longer than they plan to get things released, which is understandable. Game development's like that. Smokeberry says they're going to derp it up. Euro says... hey, wait until they do derp it before confirming. Yeah, they probably will derp it up. They probably will. Then they'll fix it in a patch like 6 months later. Isn't that the way it works? Hellforge says, I hope the idea of AR... I love the idea of AR, but you know that at some point there's going to be premium service so you don't get AR ads. Yeah. Euro says, I hate to quit playing Elite. I had to quit playing Elite after 4 to 6 hours. I'd start falling asleep and had too many close calls with stars. I haven't played Elite for a good 12 months, actually, probably now. It's still installed. I still have it installed on my machine. You can't see it. It's behind me, but it is still there. I just haven't played it for a while. All right, I might just jump quickly into Photoshop and remove that repeating pattern there as well. Because why not? Shouldn't have closed Photoshop down, should I? Pardon me. Let me open it up. It's going to be number 2, this one here. And that pattern is going to be spot the pattern. Play the game, spot the pattern. I believe it's this one here. So let's just shop that out. Let's shop it out with this piece over here. Back to the pen. I could have used the clone brush tool, but I find it's often easier just to do a copy and paste for another section of wall than trying to mess with the clone tool. Let's see if I got the right piece. Let's do a save. As a PNG, we're just going to overwrite the old one. I'll keep Photoshop open in case I hit the wrong spot. Just wait for that to save out. Mercury says, I've singed the paint off a few times. Yura says, yeah, I'm the same. I go for a burn around every once in a while for new things and park again. It's still saving out. It takes a while on PNG, even at 2K texture, to save out from Photoshop, because it's compressing it as it saves it. Helpwood says, sun-roasted bacon is the best kind. Euro says, our PMF has plenty of daily players to keep it alive. Frontier Developments broke plenty of stuff to annoy me. Might go back with Space Legs though. Yeah, I'll check it out when Space Legs come back. See what it's like. Why not? Okay, now we've got rid of that pattern there as well, so that should be good. I don't really see anything else here that's going to be noticeable as a repeating pattern, with the exception perhaps of that knot in the wood up the top. So I might just jump back into Photoshop and have a look at that. I believe it's going to be probably this knot here, I'd say. Although this one looks like it's more in the middle of the wood. So it can't be that one. It's probably this one actually. Let's see. Yeah. I might just grab a piece from here just to see if I've got the right bit or not. I could be completely wrong. It might not be the piece here that I'm doing at all. We'll find out. But again, I'm just going to blend these together. Now, that was cut out as a square. When I do my blending, I don't just go across the top here where the join is. I blend it down past the edge. You get a more even blend that way. If you're sort of like trying to blend something into something else, don't just go across the bottom where the blend piece is. Go up into the blend. Also just going to do a levels on that piece that we just pasted in. And I'm going to save it out again and see if that was the right piece or not. If it wasn't, I can just remove the layer that we just made. Euro says, go with the grain. I did go with the grain though, didn't I? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Let's see if it's the right piece. So that might not be the bit that I'm looking for. We will find out in 2 seconds. when Photoshop finishes saving. Every time I put my hand in my face, all I smell is lemon. No, that wasn't the piece. So I'm just going to remove that layer we just added because we don't need that there. So it's another piece somewhere else. In fact, what I might... No, that's not going to help. Actually, what I think I'll do is I'm going to jump into Max. I'm going to throw down an unwrap. Going to select that and open the editor. So I can see exactly where. That was the piece that I was at though. That's strange. That's the bit that I just worked on. So that's this piece here, and that's that bit there. Let's just make sure that Max did actually update the material, because we still have it saved out. Reload. Yeah, no, I did update it, but why is that? Oh, I did the lower bit, did I? Oh, you're right. I did this bit down here, didn't I? It's this bit up here. Okay. All right. Thanks for that, Euro. Let's just find a piece of wood grain that we can swap it out with. Let's just go with a piece from here. Let us mix them. Okay, let's save. There have been no problems with the stream for you guys, have there? I only asked because I updated my version of OBS and my version of NDI and all that sort of stuff over the weekend. I haven't noticed any problems with OBS, but you never know with the new version of OBS and NDI. No problem, stream is good? Cool. Good to hear. I haven't updated to the new version of Windows yet. Have any of you guys updated to the May 2004 version, or I think it's called? The one that Microsoft released last week. I've got the update waiting for me in my Windows update, but I haven't actually installed it yet. This feature update. It's not available for one of my machines. It's not. Two of them it's come through, but one of them it's the actual stream machine. It hasn't shown up there either. I generally sort of like leave it at least a few weeks after a major Windows update just to see if anyone's having any major problems, because you never know. And that's got rid of that mark there, so that's good. So now I don't think we've got anything else that's going to be noticeable as a repeating pattern. I think we should be good. So yeah, I'm going to sort of hold off on installing it as well, at least until NVIDIA release a new graphics driver, and then I'll probably install it. Because what I found with these major Windows updates that happen every 6 months or whatever, it's like a fresh reinstall of the operating system. I mean, they call it an update, but basically what it's doing is it's reinstalling the entire operating system and transferring all your settings and programs over. I've noticed when they release these updates that your graphics driver can have problems after the update. So basically the best way to fix that is just to reinstall the graphics driver again. I've noticed it on programs, a couple of 3D programs I use. If I update it and don't reinstall the graphics driver, it complains about OpenGL being missing or something being missing on Direct3D. So the best thing to do is just to reinstall the graphics driver again as well after the update's finished. Euro says, yeah, I'm waiting on a new studio. Me too, new studio driver. Already had CPU chipset drivers update. I don't think I've had a chipset driver update. I should check ASRock's website, see if they've released any new drivers for my motherboard. But yeah, I'm waiting for the new studio driver as well. It's due. It should be due this month. Every couple of months they tend to release a new one. So this is coming up to the second month. Hopefully NVIDIA will release a new studio driver. And then once they do that, then I'll update Windows to the new version, and then I'll reinstall the new version of the NVIDIA driver, studio driver. Okay. So now we're going to work out sizing here, as in width. So I'm just going to rename this study wall panel. We're going to sort of line it up. We may have to do a bit of scaling when we bring it into the actual engine in the game, simply because I'm going to have a floor piece that I have to take into account, as well as a ceiling piece as well. But we can do some small scales once we get it into Unreal. Pardon me. Now the fireplace is going against this wall, so I think what I might do is I might scale it for the smallest piece, which is this wall here, and we'll go from there. So if I rotate this 90 degrees, we in fact may have to export a couple of versions, just depending on how well we can fit this into the wall sections. So this piece is, yeah. I think what I'm going to do for this piece when we get into the engine is I'm just going to scale this in a little bit. You're not going to notice a small scaling change, as opposed to creating a piece that's unique for that part of the wall. So I don't want to make any adjustments to this piece for this bit of the wall. Now this bit, yeah, it's going to be an issue. These walls are going to be really hard to try and set up correctly. I think what I may have to do is I may have to scale this piece to fit this wall, and I'm going to have to create, I think, a new piece, unique piece for that part of the wall. I want to try and reuse as many pieces as possible. That way I can set up hardware instancing, hierarchical instance static meshes is what the correct term is, HISM, inside of Unreal. It's just a more efficient way to go. So reusing as many of the wall pieces as I can is better than making all unique wall pieces. It's just fiddly at this stage where you got to sort of like work out exactly what sizes you want for what. So I'm just going to make a copy of that piece. I'm going to work with this piece. I'm going to move it into around the middle of the wall, and we're going to make sure the pivot is in the center. And then we'll scale it up. Maybe just a little bit bigger. Too big. Too big. Should be about right. We can make any small adjustments when we get into the engine. So now we're going to see if we can reuse this wall piece for this wall over here. We have to take into account this side of the wall as well, which has a door in it around about here. I'm going to have to wait till I get in the engine for that though. So if we take this piece and rotate it 90 degrees, let's see if we can, how many we need to fit along this wall and how it's going to fit along this wall. That's what I thought. It's going to be sort of like a little AWP. So if I use 2 along this wall, and we have this thin section through here. Let me just pull that forward. So I'm going to need to create at least one piece that's only 2 wide. And then this piece here, I'm going to need to create one that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got to remove the last one from this run. So let's do that. Go into isolation mode. Just gotta make sure I'm facing the right direction. No, I think I was right the way it was. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to remove the last run. Let's use our slice plane again. And we're going to slice it here. Get as close to that edge as we can. So let's slice that. And then we should be able to remove that. I'll just go into the orthographic view so I can have a look at this from the other side. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Okay, that looks good. Now we just have to move that side piece in. So let's select that and let's move it in. Good. So now that piece should fit properly in that little corner there, if I line it up correctly. Good. So we have one piece here that will fit there. We can duplicate that piece twice for this wall. We have a unique piece for there. We're going to need a unique piece for here. Remember to save. Good advice, Hellforge. Yes, I haven't saved since I started the project, so let's do that now. Mercury says, I can't even pronounce that. So now we just need one more little piece for this small section of wall here. And I'm going to say that that's going to need 1. I think 2 will be too wide. I think 1 piece will sort of fit in here. If it's a little bit narrow, we can either scale it slightly, it won't be noticeable, or we can move things around. But I think one piece for that section there. The other thing we could do is we could scale these up a little, but once we get past a certain scale, these rectangles are going to be noticeably a different size, so we have to be really careful. If we didn't have these little rectangles in here, then we could probably get away with it. But because everything is so geometric, if we start to scale these pieces up too much, it's going to be noticeable that they're a different size from the wall paneling in the other pieces of the room. So I think it's just going to be easier for us to make one piece that fits in there, even if we don't use it anywhere else. Healthboard says it's Australian. Well, probably. It's a strange language. That's right. We do things differently in Australia. I'm just going to duplicate this piece and we're going to do the same thing again. Just cut it down to 1 wide. So we'll go with this one on this end. Let's go with this one on this end, because why not? Why not, I say. The slice plane, we'll cut it just on this side here. Slice. Okay. Now we can remove everything on this side. And that just means we have to duplicate these sections. Gotta make sure I grab it all though. Gotta get it all. So I'm just going to double check I haven't selected something I shouldn't have. No, I think we should be good. I'm just going to hold the shift key down. Now this is, I can't just duplicate this, I have to mirror it, I think. Do I? No, it should be fine. Just going to hold the shift key down and drag a copy across. Maybe pull it out a little bit more. It should be good. Actually, I'm just going to move that back. Pardon me. Okay. Jump out of isolation mode. Let's move our new piece into position, and we may have to scale it just a little bit. Might be just a little bit. No, it looks pretty good actually. I think we might be good. Might be a little, no, it actually looks pretty spot on. That should be good. Okay, so we have that section of wall, that section of wall. These two are just copies of this one, and we have this single piece over here. Now we just have to look at this side of the wall here. This is the one where the fireplace is going to go. So I'm just going to move the fireplace sort of into position around the middle of the wall. There we go. Just getting an angle on the camera here is a little difficult when you've got walls and stuff in the way. So around about the middle. Okay. Now, hopefully we can use this piece for the other two sides. So I'm just going to duplicate that and see if it's going to fit. And if it does, then I can just reuse the same piece in the engine. We may have to scale it just a touch, but we may not. We'll see how we go. Just move that into position. into position. So if that goes there, I think we might be able to reuse these pieces for here and here. I think they'll probably fit okay. Or maybe not. They look like they might be a little bit wide compared to the fireplace. Yeah, just a touch wide. We could probably still reuse these pieces. We could probably hide the fact that they're a little bit wide by the piece we put over the top of the fireplace. So I'm just going to leave these. Actually, this one, is this one all the way to the edge? Maybe not. Now it is. And this one I think is all the way to the edge. I'll just double check. Yeah. It's not too much bigger. Just a little bit. We could, like I said, we could probably hide that with the piece we're going to place across the top of the fireplace that covers where the chimney would be. So let's create that piece and we'll go from there. Just going to move that forward. Move that forward so it's not being hidden in the wall at the top. Alright, I'm going to move my fireplace back out so we've got room to move. So we need a piece that's quite large, so probably one of these pieces. Let's rotate it 180 degrees. Helford says, I had a couple of friends down there a few years ago. It took me a hot minute to understand their brand of English. We talk real good in Australia. What you talking about? Ain't nothing wrong with the way we talk here in this country. Now this piece you'll see fits quite nicely across the fireplace itself. We don't really need to make much of a change for that, which means we can reuse again one of these pieces over the main fireplace. So it's sort of going to go around about there, I guess. So we have a bit of the mantle showing. It's difficult to see. Let me turn shading back on. We can see it a little bit better. So actually probably around about there. But we need a piece, two small pieces at the side to hide the flue or the chimney. Yura says you should go to some of the more remoter islands here, even I don't understand them. Helford says I don't understand a single word of what you just said, but I agree, and I agree with everything. Android Lust says American English is the best English. It is. So this is good. We can use we can reuse these pieces for the front of the fireplace. We can reuse this small side piece for either side of the fireplace. We did have to create one unique small piece here, but it can't be helped. But we may be able to reuse this one small piece for the sides of the fireplace. So let's have a look. I do have to remove the bottom piece from here as well though. So let's just rotate this first. I want to show the work that you guys posted in the Discord. So I just want to sort of like get this organized. So tomorrow when we come back, we're ready to go, ready to rock and roll from the beginning. We could probably then move on to doing the floor. And then we can jump into Unreal. So I think these thin pieces here, we can probably use for the sides here. We'll see. We'll see if they're wide enough. Just so long as it covers past the edge of the fireplace there, we should be good. And it does, so that's good. Good, good, good. So we're reusing as many pieces as we possibly can. American English is the best English, it is. Hellforge says, depends on which American English. If it's a Valley Girl English, I'd rather jump out the window to get away. You're so cruel, you're so cruel. So this is good. All I have to do now is I need to cut this in line with the fireplace because we don't want the wall sticking through the fireplace like that. So I think what I might do is I'm going to isolate these two pieces. We're going to jump into a viewport where we can see it. There we go. And I don't want to cut it there because I want to see the wood at the sides here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to use a Boolean function, which I know a lot of you guys hate using Booleans in Max. But they can come in really handy. Oops, no, we want to go to standard primitive. We want a box. And I'm just going to cut it. How am I going to cut it? Let me just go into orthographic here. I need to see inside the fireplace. Okay, so I need to cut it from around about here to here. In fact, I can cut it all the way out through the bottom. So let's move that back. Make sure it's covering everything up. I think it should be fine. Alright, let's do our cut on this piece of geometry. Yeah, no, Euro says, pretty sure you meant dialect, not language. Sorry, Android Lost says, New York English is the funniest. Booleans are ace, Euro says, just make sure you have enough topology to support the operation files. Yep, that's true. Hellforge says, considering how weirdly some of those parts of the US sound, it might as well be completely different language. Euro says, I have no idea what you just said. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to isolate these two pieces. I'm just going to make sure I'm in the right, it is lined up correctly. Yep, that should be fine. So let's just isolate these two pieces. Now, I'm going to do the Boolean as is. If the Boolean does not work correctly, I'm going to reverse out of that and I'm going to change the topology on this. But I'm not going to change the topology until I've done a test on this. So I'm going to select the main piece. We'll go into our Boolean function. And we're going to do a subtraction of the cube. And hope Max doesn't crash. And Max crashed. We did say, did we save it since I made? I think we did. There was nothing I created that is new. Oh, you gotta love Max. Jeez, Max. Great to see 3D artists here. I feel the pain from Max and Maya crashes. Thank you. Thank you, El Celzazar. Thank you for following the channel. I do appreciate it. Guys, when you follow me, say thank you. Welcome to Phil Does 3D. El Celzazar. And yes, don't you love it when a program crashes? Max, this is Max. Max is temperamental. Oh man, now you know why people don't like booleans. And Helpful just popped the link for the Steam store page, which is what we're working on. We're working on a game that's available to wishlist at the moment on Steam. I'm just waiting for Max to catch up here and load in correctly. Let me just reopen the file we were just working on. We did do a save. Thank God you reminded me to save. That would have been bad. Okay. Now, we didn't make any new pieces, did we? No. Oh, no, we did. We did this side. No, didn't I save it since I did that side piece? Oh, that is so annoying. All right, fine. I should have known. When you start using booleans and Max is so temperamental. Let's just recreate this piece really quickly. It's just a cut, so it's not going to be an issue. I'm just going to turn on flat color again so it's easier for me to see. I'm going to do a save after I do this. So slice plane. Let's move it back into position. That's half the fun of doing 3D, having a program crash. Okay, let's slice it. Now I'm just going to, instead of duplicating these, I'm just going to select these and we're going to copy them. We're not going to remove them, I mean. Select all of that. Let me deselect all of that. Let me detach this. And now we can select this and delete and delete and delete. Okay, and then we can just move this piece over. And just attach them all together. Good. Now we're back to where we were. Didn't take long. Let's just move this piece. I'm just going to make sure the pivot is in the center. And we'll move it back into position over here. Good. And let's do a quick save. That piece is there, so that's fine. In fact, I'm just going to, before I do a save, just copy this piece over here so I know that that wall is done. Just so when we open it up tomorrow, I'm not confused. Because let's face it, it's easy to confuse Phil. Okay, so we can reuse all the pieces we've got now. The fireplace, one of those goes at the front and the smaller pieces go at the side. So let's do a quick save. Okay, which I should have done before I started that, tried to do that Boolean operation because I know what Max is like. So we're well on our way. Now I do want to look at the stuff that you guys posted in the gallery, the Discord gallery. Thank you, Rodrigo, as well. I'm not sure if I thanked you for following the channel, so thank you, Rodrigo. But if I didn't, welcome to Phil Does 3D. So yeah, the guys have posted some images in the gallery on the Discord server. Again, if you want to join the Discord, that's the link I've just popped in Twitch chat, the Phil Does 3D Discord server. You can post links to your work and all that sort of stuff. If you're new to my channel and you want to know more about me, you can go to phildoes3d.com and you can look at my website. There's links to my social media, my art station, all that sort of stuff. But this is some stuff that Edo's been doing, a character Edo is working on. It's looking very sweet. Posted a couple of images, so I'll open them all. Edo is like Android Lust. He does a lot of character work. And the last one is this one. I'm just going to post them all in. But if you don't want to wait for me, you can jump on the Discord server and see them now. Really nice work Edo's done here on the face and the eyes. And the character itself is looking really cool as well. Very nice. And you haven't made the breasts incredibly large, Ito, which is good. Well done. Normal sized woman, not some monstrosity with huge breasts. Hellforge knows the future. Android Lost says yes, he does. Hellforge says I've lost enough progress over the years when Blender decides to throw a fit, so I'm always trying to be mindful of saving. And I turn the autosave off, so I've only got myself to blame, really, for not remembering to save. Thank God you did mention it, though, because otherwise I would have been really annoyed if it had crashed before the Boolean operation and I hadn't saved. Hellforge says, although it rarely crashes when modelling, 95% of the time it crashes hard when I'm messing around with procedural shaders. Well, you saw Max was fine. It crashed when it was doing the Boolean operation. So be mindful of Max's Booleans because they can cause the program to crash. The same thing in the UV editor. Sometimes if you're trying to get it to unwrap a really complex piece of geometry, it can crash Max that way as well. Android Lust says she reminds me of Supergirl at the moment. Smurpery says the big ones are called whammers. Thanks for that, Smurpery. Android Lust says Ito had to tone it down. Well, I'm glad he toned it down because, I mean, most women don't have these huge breasts. Just like most guys aren't those muscle men that you see in games like, Gears of War. They're stylized, and I get that, but that's not how people are. So it's nice to see models that reflect more normal people. Hellforge says lacking chest topology. No, I think the breasts are fine. Cool character. It is very cool character. He's done a really nice job with the texturing as well. From what he's done so far. Most men have necks. Yes, most men do have necks, but they don't have necks that are out here like this. And they don't have arms that are up here like this. And chests that are out here like this either. Euro says... Android Lust says beards of war. Euro says, I noticed the UV stuff in Max 2021 is way more performant than before. Could be due to the rewrite. Yeah, I've noticed Max is just generally the viewport feels more performant than Max 2020. It just feels smoother, a little bit, a little bit more responsive. I've noticed that too. Hellforge says, speak for yourself, Bill. Winded going down 2 flights of stairs. That's right. Let's have a look at Android Lust's character now as well. But nice work, Ito. And I love Android Lust renders out in 4K for me, so I don't have to scale it up, which is very nice. I appreciate that, Android Lust, and it shows the work in the best quality because I don't have to manually scale. But again, beautiful work. I love it. I love this this shot as well. This angle. I love the depth of field you got going on too. It looks really cool. Texturing beautiful, modeling beautiful. The expression on the face is just priceless. It looks really good. Really good. Beautiful texturing. And Android Lust does really nice silhouette work as well. Like the angle and the way that he's posed the character is really good as well. Not just the modeling work, the texturing work, but the actual silhouettes and the pose of the characters. Really cool. It looks really good. Beautiful work. You always do beautiful work. Your portfolio must be looking amazing, Android Lust. You're a machine. You've done a great job. Really great job. Smurpery says that crab would fit perfectly in the exciting new game Fight Crab. That's not a joke. Look it up on Steam. Is there a game called Fight Crab? Oh man. Android Lust says, if I ever update my portfolio, you've got all the work that you've shown in the gallery on the Phil Does 3D Discord server. It's just been amazing. So you've got a good selection of really top quality work for your portfolio, which is great. Beautiful. Love it. Everything is looking amazing. I just want to quickly show Confusion's work as well. But nice work, Android Lust. Really nice. Confusion was working on some furniture. He has posted a link to his art station on the Discord server, so you should check it out. And really nice work, really nice furniture work as well. I like the detailing that's going on here with the ties. It reminds me of actually yours a little bit. But yeah, no, really nice work. Beautiful. Beautiful. I don't know personally I'd put that furniture in my house, but just because I don't like cane. But modelling, texturing, lovely, beautifully done. And again, he's posted a whole series of images of this on his ArtStation. If you want to check it out, jump on the Builders 3D Discord server, jump into the gallery, and there's a link to his ArtStation there. Mr. Squarepeg says, yes, there is. Yes, there is what? But yes, beautiful work from all of you guys. You've all done amazing work. I love this shot. I love this angle. I mean, both of them look great. Don't get me wrong, Android Lust, but this is my favorite shot. Render. I love this. Love the depth of field. Love the silhouette. Love the expression. Love the texturing. Great work. And the same with Confusion. You've done some really nice work here on the furniture as well. Remember, if you want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord server, click the link I've just popped in chat, or you can click the blue graphic in my panels below my stream. If you're watching this back at a later date, because I upload all of my previous streams to Twitch, just in case you guys can't watch me when I'm live, you can watch the rerun. I think we might leave it there for today. I do want to thank again Smurfette, LJ, Rodrigo, and El Cesar for following the channel. Thank you very much, guys. Again, I'm live every Monday and Tuesday. I will be back again tomorrow, of course, because tomorrow is Tuesday US time. I work on US time, so every Monday, Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time is when I'm live. So I'll be back tomorrow. Remember, if you want a reminder, you can follow my Twitter channel, Twitter page at PhilDoes3D to get a reminder that way. But my schedule never changes. I do want to thank you guys so very much for being here and for hanging out with me today and for watching. I do appreciate it. I will be back again tomorrow. You guys take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. See you guys.